Hello everyone, this is Clarissa from DNP Mentor. The topic today is a topic that is a very common topic in my practice. A lot of the times I'll have individuals that will come in and they will tell me, I would be really happy if only my husband wouldn't act a certain way, or if he wouldn't say things a certain way, or if he wouldn't say words that are not kind or demeaning, or if my adult children were independent and didn't live at home. And the list can go on and on. But the problem is not necessarily what they're saying is them or something that they can control, but it's about how can I change others? How can I elicit them to be different so that we can create a more peaceful environment? And so the simple answer is you can't. We have no power at all to change anybody else. We only have the power to change ourselves. Now that is a very harsh answer. I realize that. Now there is a concept of boundaries. And in boundaries, you determine what it is that you will accept. And so a lot of the times a boundary would be something like people will say, well, if he hit me, and people know that. And so they do everything but hit somebody physically. But words, actions are really just as harmful and damaging. And so because individuals know that they can get away with this, they don't necessarily change. They don't want to change. And and that's not to say that an individual is acting wrong or they're acting badly because the person is not setting boundaries. No, this is a person obviously that needs a lot of help. The person that is refusing to change, that is treating somebody that supposedly they love badly and harmful and are hurting their feelings and are evoking some kind of pain. And so certainly we can say to an individual, and I have several consultations like this where a person might say, well, my husband curses at me or tells me that I'm fat, ugly, I'm a pig, I'm lazy. And so, and he might do this, say, in front of the kids, or even if they didn't, it's something that is extremely hurtful. And so how can I handle this? And so the key here is that, aside from us putting tape in their mouth, we can't force somebody to act a way that they don't want to act. And so now we can set a boundary and say, next time that you call me these names, I'm going to leave, or it's not right. I don't want you to do it. Now that doesn't mean that that's going to create a change necessarily because we're saying that's what we want. And so we have no control over what they're going to say, act, or do. But we do have control over what we hear. We do have control over what we allow to happen to us. So let me give you an example. Say, for example, we're with a partner that calls us these names. You're a pig, you're lazy, you're no good, demeans us. And we've already done all the warnings, we've already cried, begged, did everything possible within our power to try to create a change. And one thing that I do want to insert in here is that there's nothing that an individual does to deserve somebody treating them badly. So a lot of the times a person will say, well, if you wouldn't have done this, or if you wouldn't have said this, you push my buttons. We don't push anybody's buttons. These people are ready to go and anything. Sometimes people will act perfectly and somebody will say, I didn't do anything at all. I had everything nice. I did my best to look good. I had things ready, and the person was still upset, and at the end of the day still treated this person badly and said a lot of demeaning things. And so it's never about the person being hurt. It's about the person that is creating the hurt. And so if I'm saying I don't want to hear these things, I can't cover their mouth so that I don't hear it. It's impossible. But what can we do? We can get up, stand up, and leave the room. I don't have to hear it. If we're on the phone with somebody and say we don't want to hear gossip or any toxic conversation, we can very politely say, hey, you know what? I have to go when they're starting. We've already warned them once. This is not something that I want in my life right now. I don't want to really be prone to hearing anything negative or hearing anything about anybody else. I have my own things to worry. But if they still, and it doesn't matter if it's your mother, your father, your sibling, your best friend, because it really isn't about them. It's about what you need in your life right now. And it isn't that. So if you very politely say, I have been thinking that, when I hear conversations about a certain topic or things that are just negative right now, it just leaves me in a bad place. So would you not please speak about this, this, and this? Now, again, we can say it. Does that mean that they're going to stop? Not necessarily. But the next time they bring it up and say we're on the phone, we can say, oh, I'm sorry, somebody's at the door. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to go right now. I'm going to go read my book. Or I'm going to go. Now, you don't have to say it a million times. I told you I didn't want to hear it. You just very polite. And guess what? They will get it. They will get it. So now they know that if they want to keep a conversation with you and they want to keep you on the phone, they want to engage with you, then they won't bring up their topics. That's if they want to engage with you without saying this. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean just because you set that boundary that they don't want to still speak about it and they might not respect it. But at that point, you have the power to say, I'm not going to pick up the phone next time they call. And so you can choose who you have in your life. Now, I know it's a little bit more difficult when it's our partner, our husbands, our boyfriends, our fiancés, or even our adult kids. But we have to do whatever is within our control to limit abuse, to limit somebody demeaning us. And that if that's not hearing it, certainly if that's moving out, certainly if that is moving on. But I know that isn't always possible. There's for a lot of different reasons. And so what can we do instead? And the idea of this is moving yourself out of that situation. So they're going to go on about a certain topic and maybe elicit the names or elicit bad behavior. And so at this point, I can walk away, and I know what people will say. Well, that's going to create maybe, them becoming irate. It really isn't a reason for somebody to act badly. And so because it really isn't about, remember, the person that's being hurt. So it might trigger more bad words. It might not. But they are already doing it. At least you are not hearing it. Now, sometimes people might have to leave the house and go for a run, go for a walk, go order a Starbucks coffee and drink it in your car. But the key here, and my point is in this video, is to note that we do not have the power or the control to change others. We only have control over ourselves. So those are the things that we work on. Now, sometimes what happens in my practice, I will hear somebody complaining about an individual in their lives. And I will listen, and I will at some point say, we could speak about this individual a whole session, a whole hour, and it won't make a difference. So let's talk about things that I can help you with, that you have control over, that you personally want to change. And so we work on maybe establishing goals for them. We work on maybe having them change a certain situation, improve something, or focus on something different that they can control themselves. So that's really the key in terms of the possibility of us creating change in others. If somebody isn't reasonable on the other side, we have absolutely no control, but we do have control over ourselves. And that concludes this presentation. I hope that you will make a comment for me, and any ideas in terms of future videos, I will certainly take a look, and I would appreciate your feedback if you will also take the time to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.